All right, we back, Mama, for our, I think this is like the 5th episode of the, what is the name of this podcast again? I forgot what it's called. Beyond the Skills. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. We got so much going on that we don't even remember half the time we doing stuff because we just roll with the flow. And this is kind of what this podcast is going to be about. What's real, what's fake? Because we so busy. We ain't got time, honestly, to even do podcasts about content, but we do it anyway, right? We're not.
We don't have time to be fake either.
We ain't got, because we got so many businesses going on. We got so many, real estate deals going on. I'm constantly buying and selling that, for me as a entrepreneur, pretending to be a guru, not a guru pretending to be an entrepreneur. For me, I have to sniff my way out through all the bullshit of social media, and that's what I'm kind of want to talk to you guys about. What's real and what's fake.
We've gotten really good at sniffing it out in the last 5 years.
Absolutely. I wasn't very good the first year.
No.
I thought everybody, was like...
I was always a step ahead of you, I'll be honest, because I have like, what you call that, radar.
Yeah. Well, you remember
for that kind of stuff.
The first couple masterminds I went to, like I thought I was going to see like a...
celebrity or something.
Yeah, and I was like, come back and be like, we got duped. Like, these guys are full of shit.
Yeah.
So, and that's what we want to talk to you guys about, because it's so important. You can skip all the bullshit of, you have to discern of who's real, who's fake, who's not, and...
Well, make sure you're not being taken advantage of.
Yeah, and differentiate who you can trust, right? And who you should actually, listen to.
And what's their motive? Like, is their motive to be like popular and just have a lot of followers, or their motive is to really like educate and give value? Yeah. So.
Well, a lot of them just want to get famous. Let's just be real.
Yeah, and I think that's the problem.
Yeah. There's no true value. Yes. You get to know them and listen. Because I've been an entrepreneur my whole life. I know how to run a business. I understand sales and marketing. I've been studying this, and that I ain't bullshitting, because you see me do it all these years since I was 22 years old, like all in and studying, classes, coaching, masterminds, courses. I really lived the skill up brand, right?
And while I think it's still really rare how you are. Like,
I would agree.
You like hype. I've never seen anybody in my life hyper focus on education like he does. And he weren't always like that. No. It was like at 22. He was like, it's like a switch. It was like, I have to do self-improvement. Well,
that's because I was fucking up. I was fucking up so bad from 17 to 22.
So,
but the problem is, Mom, is that, and this is what I want to hone in this episode, is that I thought everybody was like that, because on social media everybody's rich and famous, right? The first
or so they say,
right? And you get to know these cat daddies, and the caliber and quality of their lives is not what they portray on social media, right? Mm-hmm. You come to realize that it's a lot of smoke and mirrors. And what you need to understand is, if you can't see through these smoke and mirrors, you're going to get duped, and you're going to get fed false information, bad information, and information that just frankly doesn't move the needle in business and life, because it's just selling fairy dust and unicorn urine, right?
You're actually dealing with somebody who wants to be popular more than they want to give value, and that's a problem.
Or let's just be real. It's easier to sell online courses and stuff like that than do business. Yeah. Like, and I thought that's where I thought everybody was like, oh, everybody's entrepreneurs like me, and not all these guys that are out there beating their chest and saying they're doing shit. A lot of them
want it done the easy way.
Oh yeah,
they want the easy route.
Yeah. So let's talk about that, right? Let's talk about how to discern, how to distinguish between what's real and what's fake, right? And what you have to first and foremost understand is supply and demand, and what's rare and valuable, right? If somebody you follow on social media is telling you how awesome they are and how they do all these big things and they never lose and everything's unicorn, fairy dust, and just hocus pocus happiness, like, that's the first indicator that your bullshit meter should go off, one. And if they talk about the good and they don't ever talk about the bad, that's another secondary bullshit meter that should go off. And 3, if they take in pictures in Lambos every other Facebook post or Instagram post, and that's all they do is show their Lambos, and they got more likes than they do assets under management. Are they buying comments? You got these guys, they got 20,000 likes and then 4 comments, right? they're buying all these comments and likes and all that bullshit. Like, guys, it's so much bullshit, right? Most of these guys that are doing that shit are just trying to get famous. They're not trying to give true value, and it's a perception. Oh, look how many people are following me. Hey, look how many people like and comment. You can buy comments. I get people, they inbox me how many times? Every single day I get an inbox, twice, 2 to 3 times a day sometimes. Hey, we'd like to juice up your Instagram. I noticed you're only getting 20, 10, 15 comments and 100 likes, and if somebody like you should be getting thousands, and we can help you boost. This all smoke and mirrors, right? And as a true business owner, you got to live in the what? In the truth. So if you don't understand that and you can't live in the truth, you're not going to be good at business, because business is living by statistics, facts, measuring, adapting, changing.
And business is going to last longer than your social media platform.
Well, especially if you live in a lie.
Yeah.
A lot of these guys are, they look all cool on social media and they win the battles, but how many gurus do you know that we've talked about the past 3 to 5 years? And including some of the guys I hired as coaches, they're gone. But they were the most badass real estate wholesale investors and coaches in the universe, not even the planet, the universe. Like, remember one particular guy, he would talk about how he was like the best in the whole world, and he'd do millions of dollars in revenue, and he's gone. Out of business, right? So that's an indicator. I'm not going to go and say names, but
yeah, we don't want to say names.
We don't want to say names because I don't want to be a total asshole.
Yeah.
Off camera, you want to talk to me? I'll tell you who your name is, because I think it's bullshit. But I ain't going to do it on a public platform like some people. But I've had people call me gurus, and I challenge them. I say, hey, come spend the day with me. Come hang out with me and see if you can keep up for a day or two and see what my day looks like. My day is jam-packed with phone calls, negotiation, looking at properties, looking at business ideas.
And sometimes that doesn't end until 10 o'clock.
Oh,
I mean, honestly.
That's what the work-life balance shit is all horse shit. It's horse shit. What guy that's worth hundreds of millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars, even billions of dollars says, oh, I'm just a work-life, I have a work-life balance. That's all bullshit. Look at people like high achievers. The best example, if you want to understand what a high achiever looks like, that you want to mimic, duplicate, and maybe imitate, is Michael Jordan. Go watch his documentary and look at his work ethic. You don't end up like a guy like him by chance or luck or having a work-life balance. If you want to get at the top of your game, you got to outwork the top of the game. You got to put in the hours. You got to put in the hours, right? With all the bullshit that's talked about Grant Cardone, I mean, I don't agree with everything he says, but you got to give it to the man. He's a machine. Works, and his secret weapon is he outworks everybody. He truly lives the 10X brand, right? And I think that's why a lot of guys that are super hustlers like me or other people that followed him, can respect him, because there's a lot of, you resonate with that, right? I don't resonate with people that tell me to slow down. Hey, when's enough? Or, why are you going so hard? Or when you're going to chill? Like, it's not about the money, it's about the game, and it's fun, right? So be careful where you get your information from. There's guys out there that are selling you
a bill of goods,
NFTs, Bitcoins, and cryptocurrency. They even starting NFTs about themselves. Like, get the fuck out of here, dude. Who's buying that shit? Let me sell you. Me. Look, I got this product right here. Let me sell you some air. Because that's what you're buying, guys. That's what but they say, wait, Chris, you don't understand the technology. Listen, dude, scams have been going on since time immemorial. There's plenty of them. There will always be scams as long as there's human beings on this planet. And I'm telling you, NFTs, Bitcoin, all that bullshit, cryptocurrencies are a scam. But Chris, you don't understand the blockchain technology. Yes, I understand the blockchain technology, but you are not going to decentralize a centralized monetary system that the government controls, and you think you're going to start your own coin and it's going to be not regulated by the government, and that you're so cool. Do you honestly?
I'm wondering how you get cool enough to say, look, I'm awesome, buy this of me. Like,
listen,
I don't know when I'll get to that point where I feel like I have that much self-confidence that I think I can do that.
World wars have been fought over who controls the money supply, who controls the monetary system. After World War II and the Bretton Woods Agreement, right? A lot of World War II was fought over who was going to control the money supply, right? Do you honestly, and it's fought with, and everybody, because everybody tells me when I talk about this topic, well, you don't know anything. It's, the government, it's outside the government control. Listen, you don't have airplanes, tanks, and guided missiles. Right? This is why you'll never control a decentralized currency. That's how you control. Henry Kissinger once said, you control the people. If you want to, how he said, if you want to control a country, you control the food. And I may be butchering this. If you want to control the country, you control the food supply. If you want to control a continent, you control or something. Or no, let me back up. If you want to control a country, you control the medical field. If you want to control a continent, you control the food. If you want to control the world, you control the currency, the money supply. And that's the truth. So if you honestly think that this decentralized banking digital, now, will the government come out with a digital currency using blockchain? Yes, I do believe digital currencies is the wave of the future. All you gotta do is pick up some books and read. That's what they're up to. But it's not going to be outside the control of the U.S. government or the country that you live in, period. Okay? So if you're into all that stuff, here's your chance to get out of it right now. And if you buying these gurus that are putting out content on YouTube with pink, purple, and blue hair telling you to buy their NFT, you've been sold a bill of goods, dude. Anybody could do that. Mama, you already know what I'm talking about. But we ain't going to say any names. But I'm going to double back on what I said. Buy what's rare and valuable. Look at supply and demand. That's how the real world works, on supply and demand. Is there limited supply of this? Is there high demand? Right? Just like gold and silver, just like land. They only made so much supply of land. They only made so much supply of waterfront property. There's only so much supply of maybe this particular business or that particular business in your city that you're looking at starting. Look at the supply, look at the demand. That's how you can figure out if it's real, will it work, should I invest in it, right? If you understand that and you understand the scarcity of raw materials, the scarcity of the goods and services needed to run an economy, then you'll know what to invest in, right? Mm-hmm. That's really all you need to know, right? You just got to do the things that other people aren't doing, right?
And invest in yourself.
Invest in yourself. A lot of people ain't doing that. Mm-hmm. A lot of people just do the things people aren't willing to do. Mm-hmm. A lot of people aren't willing to go and start an oil change company out of the back of their truck and wash cars at 22 years old while they're still in college. Mm-hmm. I was willing to do that and turn that into what? There was no competition. I was the only person in game in town to do it. I turned that business into out of the back of my truck to, doing almost $3 million in revenue within 5-6 years, and had 4 locations, right? Because why? It was scarce. Nobody wanted to do it. Mm-hmm. It hadn't been done. Then I scaled a real estate business. We started our whole real estate business 8 years ago with bandit signs, and taking it to what it is now, to multi 7-figure operation out of the back of my truck. Almost got arrested a couple of times putting out too many bandit signs. I'm not advocating you guys go out and put up a bunch of bandit signs, but I'm telling you, most people aren't willing to go out there and put 300 to 500 bandit signs out a month.
What made you flip the switch and say, I'm going to be, I'm going to be investing in myself and try to be, this awesome human being and I could say that because I live with him. But anyway, what made you fulfill that? What drives you to do that?
I think as a human being living on this planet, you go through cycles, mm-hmm. just like seasons of life. And diamonds are made through pressure. And I was such a fucking loser from 17 to 22 that I couldn't get any lower. And I knew I had hit basically, if you look at like boom and bust economies, I had busted. My economy as a human being had busted at 22. Yeah. I was a loser. I was on drugs. You were about to leave me. My parents had nothing to do with me. I was just I was just fucking up. Yeah. And I knew I was better than that. And a lot of that had to do with just bad information, hanging around the wrong people, mm-hmm. Not having, allies, having a bunch of low life friends that party and do drugs together. Yeah. And I would attribute a lot of that too to being put on psych drugs as a young kid. I do think I've got some type of craziness in my head that I got a squirrel. I just doesn't, I chase a squirrel in my head all day.
Yeah.
Right? You know that. You live with me. It doesn't stop. I can't turn it off.
No.
It just is there.
But you hyper focus it on something positive.
If you can, this is why I don't relate to everybody, and a lot of people don't relate to me. I'm more of a high energy, high performance kind of guy, entrepreneur, and I love business, and I'm an extremist.
Yeah.
Whatever I do, I'm going to be the most extreme at it. Hey, you want to go party? Let's party. You want to go and start a business? Well, we're going to start a business and we're going to go all in, right? And so for me, that's who I was. And to go back to what we were talking about, why, is that I hit rock bottom and I hit the cycle. So if you hit a cycle of going downward, and I was busted as a human being, the economy, my whole economy, it just blew up, where you can only hit so much rock bottom. When you hit rock bottom, you're like, okay, all I can do is get better from here. And for me, I knew that I'm gonna improve my life. I can't be any more of a loser than I am, right? Then from there, I realized how much my life can improve, and I could take that energy, that balled up energy, and I can focus on something constructive instead of destructive. And I realized that I could actually be proud of myself. And I got addicted to the actions
and
winning. I got addicted to winning is what happened. And then we got a little bit of win, and literally I cut everybody out of my life.
Yeah.
And that's what I want.
But that's what you have to do.
That's what you have to do. This podcast called "What's Real and What's Fake" is that what's real is you recognizing that you're never going to go anywhere in life if you hang around the same people you did when you're in high school and college. You're not. What's fake is thinking that your life's going to improve by hanging around the same people. That's fake.
Yeah.
You want to level up, you want to skill up, you better find a new crew to hang around with that are doing better than you, that you can get good information from. So,
and this brings us back with finding people who are actually real, who are willing to give you good information.
That's right. So you have to distinguish. When I see all these influencers on Instagram what influencer, right? Because you bought 1 million followers, you're an influencer. Like, really? How does that make you? I can go buy 1 million followers right now. I can't do it. It doesn't ring true to me.
Well, I think the real reason why you started doing this is because you had a passion for giving everybody the knowledge you had taken in, and you just wanted to, you are coachable, so you are a good coach.
Yeah. Well, there's just so many bullshit artists out there. Like, I'm going to just call them out. I'm one guy I'm going to call out. Meet Kevin. Total bullshit artist. He actually made a video about me, 4 or 5 years ago with Grant Cardone. The dude literally got famous for pretending to be rich and pretending to make money. He's a realtor. And he clickbaited his way to the top with all these influencers he'd make videos.
Did he get arrested?
Yeah, he got arrested. Yeah. Remember at Grant, he broke into Grant Cardone's office to try to get fame, and put it on video. Anyway, and this guy's got, probably, I don't know, maybe 500,000-600,000, maybe 1 million, maybe more than that, maybe 1 million followers on YouTube. And he just, if you listen to him, he literally just makes shit up. He went from how to be a good realtor, how to be a real estate investor, how to be a contractor. Now he's an economist. Now he trades the markets. I don't know what the fuck he's doing now, but it's literally whatever. If you're a good bullshit artist and you can bullshit a lot of people on social media.
Unfortunately, yeah.
But take away all the social media, take away all the because he's probably making a lot of money on YouTube now.
But what is his real life like?
Is he really worth millions of dollars? Take away the YouTube money that he's getting monetized. Is he a true business owner? Is he a true blue entrepreneur? And I call bullshit on him. I hope he watched it. He's an absolute scumbag loser. You can just tell. If you make your whole career built on clickbaiting on YouTube, and you got famous for clickbaiting on YouTube, get the fuck out of here, dude. Get the fuck. Do you really know how to run a business? No, I see straight through that. He's an academic. He's not an entrepreneur. He's good at memorizing stuff, spitting out facts. The dude can't run a business. I can guarantee you put him up against any true blue entrepreneur, he cannot run it. He already said he had a couple businesses that went, but I think he's contracting business with, but he's tried a couple businesses. The best he can do is be a realtor and a YouTube star, and that's what this podcast is about. Are you following YouTube stars and Instagram stars, or are you listening to real life entrepreneurs? So for me, when I go to events, I love to watch and listen to people that don't really even have a following.
Some of them aren't even on social media.
They're not even on social media, and they give the best information.
Yes.
Case in point, the last Growth Con we went to, my favorite guy, the guy that owns the casinos and and all the restaurants, Landry's, Fertelli,
Tillman Fertilli. Something like that.
If you want to know what a real, true life entrepreneur, listen to his story. Go read his book. And when he spoke on stage, he spoke so much truth that it was in your face, right? Yeah. And when you're talking and listening to those guys. So as we get more and more in this fake world of fake money they're printing, you can buy fake followers, you can have fake muscles with steroids, you can have fake sex with the porn stars online. You can have fake friends, on Instagram. Like everything's fake. You better get real with yourself because we're coming into a cycle, a season.
You can't fake it till you make it anymore.
It's going to get real soon. It's going to get real life's about to hit people in the face, right? Interest rates are going up. You got political turmoil. You got a lot of crazy shit going on in the world. I mean, everybody says, you should know, Chris, you ain't got to pay attention to politics. I call bullshit on that, right? You better pay attention to politics. Anyway, Mom, I've been talking a lot. Maybe I should let you talk a little bit on this topic.
No, I think it was a huge realization. We went to how many events have we been to?
I used to go to events almost every month.
Sometimes twice a month.
Yeah.
And kind of went in there like kind of green, just walking in and
I thought everybody told the truth on social media because we tell the truth. Yeah. Like I don't lie about stuff.
And I guess you want to go to these things and get actual real information. Like you don't want to just see like somebody, who's full of themselves on stage.
Because they have a lot of followers. They got more followers than money in the bank. They got more comments than equity and properties.
What a waste of time.
Yeah.
So that was really eye-opening for us, I think, the first year. And so we're just trying to find people who are more like extraordinary people living.
We're ordinary people doing extraordinary things. That's what I'm looking for. Ordinary people that are doing extraordinary things. Like we had a guy speak at our last event named Christopher Rausch. The dude, it was a silent killer. He's 36 years old, super humble. He's probably worth 84, 85 million.
A lot of people around him don't even know how well he does.
Yeah, and he, I had to beg him to speak on stage, and I got him to speak at the last event. He gave so much value because he told the hard truth of how you get to that level.
Yes.
How do you get there? And it's hard.
In real life, in real time.
And I resonated with him because he comes from the school of hard knocks, just like me, knocking on doors, following up at people for over a year. All the stories he told, that's the real life of because that's how we've done a lot of the stuff, like just going out there and shaking the trees and going to work every day.
These are the things that actually really work.
Absolutely.
You hear a lot of bullshit online and it doesn't really work. You need to talk to people who are actually really doing
it.
Really buying deals, selling deals, flipping deals, doing massive things, not just showing off the cars they're probably leasing. No, what do you actually own? What are your assets?
Even if they did buy them, why are you buying a fucking Lambo when you don't even have that much income coming in from a business or real estate? Why? Because you got a lot of money coming in from YouTube. You've been paid by Instagram influencers to shout, whatever it may be. And this is
that's also extremely risky. That's not a long-term financial plan.
Well, it's not real, and it's built on quicksand. It doesn't have concrete fundamentals. It doesn't have a foundation. That could be taken. If you build a 7-figure business and it takes you 3 to 5 years to build it, that's hard to destroy. You can't destroy that overnight. But if the U.S. decides, hey, we don't want Instagram no more, like what they're doing with TikTok, they're talking about banning TikTok. You built your whole business on TikTok, you're going to be in a bind.
Yeah, they could just turn the switch off.
You better build a real business in the real economy. Now, is there money to be made online? Sure, look, we do it. Yeah. I do it. But how many times I tell you,
but you better be able to back it up with something.
You better be a real entrepreneur. It's easy to make content. And maybe it's not that easy for some people to make content, and some people are actors online, and that's what you got to distinguish, right?
I mean, we have to like force ourselves to stop working so we can sit here
and do this
and do these podcasts
because we're so busy. But I want to put out content because there's a lot of value in building a brand. I'm not discrediting.
And we want to find those real people.
Yeah.
For allies, like we don't want the fake people. No. Like we don't care. Like if you drive up in a Lamborghini,
we don't. I don't ask those gurus to come speak at my events. I don't. Like I was on the phone with some people that this morning that may want to come speak at my event. Real people with real business. We got a guy that's got $100 million worth of RV parks. That's my age, right? You don't even have heard of him. He follows me, and he doesn't really have a big social media presence. But that's the people I'm looking for.
Those silent killers. Silent
killers. And they don't necessarily have to be silent because I got a loud mouth. And I know I'm a killer. I know that for a fact, right? I ain't got to prove it. I ain't got to go out there. I live it every day, So for me, that's who I want to attract. And the problem is you think everybody else is like you, and they're not. When you first go to these events, I thought everybody was, just hardworking and everybody was just going to be honest. But most, but not all folks are full of shit. And that's not even just in the business world. That's just in everyday life. This is why we stay away from most people.
This is why we like our bubble.
Yeah. You better get real with yourself, guys. Get real with yourself and get yourself some allies.
And you know what, too? We're not perfect either.
Oh, no.
I think I don't like it when somebody comes off like they're the perfect parent. They have
a lot of struggles. We struggle with a lot of things. We struggle a lot with our kids, with our teenagers. We have a couple kids that we really that we struggle with. I mean, we have our struggles, but I own my struggles, right?
Yeah, that's right.
We
own our crazy too.
And we own our crazy. And I think if you don't think you're crazy,
you're missing something.
You batshit crazy.
Yes.
The people that don't think they're crazy.
Know you're crazy because everybody got a little bit of crazy.
Well, you have to know the edge of your competency.
Yeah, true.
You understand? Like I know where my limit's at.
Yeah.
And I know where my crazy comes out.
And you know where your struggles are, so you can control them.
And if you know that and you own your struggles, you can kind of mitigate your risk and not put yourself in a situation where your struggles get amplified. Yeah. Right? Mama has a problem with going to titty bars all the time. Like I have to pull in the reins, right? I mean, it's a struggle for her. Yeah. No, guys, but anyway, figure out what's real. Figure out what's fake.
Don't be blinded.
Yeah. Just understand that, there's a lot of real people out there that are looking for you too. The people you're looking for are looking for you too. I'm looking for good people to network with, start businesses.
We're looking for some more Christopher Roushes.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking for good people. I'm looking for ordinary people doing extraordinary things. That's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for
people who want to get famous.
Yeah. If you're trying to get famous on TikTok and Instagram, just for the simple purpose of getting famous, not because you give value or you're actually doing big stuff as an entrepreneur. Like I can sit here on stage and talk about what I'm doing because I'm actually doing it, right? But when I hear people talking about stuff and I know them personally and I know they're not doing that just to look cool and they get famous, man, that's a shallow place to be. And I call bullshit on it. And that is from years of being around the industry and understanding there's a lot of bullshit artists. All right, guys, thanks for watching the Beyond the Skills podcast. If you like this content, please like, subscribe, comment, share. And you can follow me also on my social media on Instagram at Real Estate Rood and Chris Rood Entrepreneur on Facebook. And if you want to keep skilling up, keep watching. Peace.